Hey, what's up, guys? Nanjiroh here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys the Take-Two game. So I was supposed to be playing ladder, but just because I have to climb, or sorry, it's not that I have to climb. It's I have to get 4,000 points in the next like 2 days. Just because I really want those hedgehog sleeves. So, well, I say really want, but it's more of a I'm gonna feel bad if I don't get it because I'm so close to getting it. So while I was doing dailies, I was doing them in Take-Two, and I had a really interesting game where my opponent just like played hard as fuck and did everything I wanted to do, and I just like won. So a lot of times people say that Take-Two, you know, it takes like no skill. I mean, like, sorry, that takes like no skill. If you get like a god draft, you're gonna be able to win easy. But like, I don't think that's true. A lot of it comes down to like the standard like natural variance, which is like, okay, well, did you get at least a decent draft? Like, for example, did you make sure to draft some 2-drops? Just because 2-drops are very, very important in Take-Two, just because like you need to be able to do something early. Additionally, it also comes down to like, utilizing your bombs properly, and just making do with what you have and planning several turns ahead. So for this game, it wasn't a game like, oh, my opponent had a bad draft. No, he had a very, very good draft. He had multiple Beast Claw Arias, Tribunal, Israfil, Bird Keeping Disciple, etc. I mean, I myself, I also have a pretty good draft, so this is gonna be on an even play, well, a nearly even playing field. The only difference is that I'm Grandmaster and he's I think that's B rank, yeah. So I kept my 3-drop and my 4-drop because I was hoping for a 2-drop. Now this was really greedy because I'm on the draw. However, he's Haven, and he's also, well, okay, so he's Haven. Additionally, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The fact that he was B rank, it kind of it influenced my decision basically. Just because like a lot of times when I play these Take-Two games, I see people just not draft any 2-drops, or if they did, just somehow magically never find them and whatnot. So you can kind of get away with taking greedier mulls if you know that the person is like lower rank. I think the only time where you can't afford to do that is if they're like, well, is sometimes if they're like beginner 0, just because according to some of my friends, there are actually people who are beginner 0 that like they're just like draft like gods, like straight up just they have like the taker of T-Flare and all of that. So you have to be like worried for those people, but like for everyone else, unless they're master or unless they're beginner 0, unless they're grandmaster, master, or beginner 0, you can kind of take greedier mulligans depending on like how strong your draft was and exactly what it is they're keeping in your hand. So I do get the Tove. Post nerf Tove isn't even that bad. Like it's just it's a 2/2. So he plays the Beast Claw Aria, and this is actually terrifying just because like the Aria, it represents a lot of tempo on turn 5, and he's also on the play. So he also has the Kai's on top of that. So like so right now we've clearly seen him on turn 2, turn 3 have arguably the best possible turn 2 and turn 3 plays that he could have had in this draft format. So I go ahead and trade. And I also go ahead and play up Mini Soul Devil. Now here, what I'm looking to do is I'm expecting to only have this carrot next turn, so I'm just gonna BKB it and then just like evolve the Mini Soul Devil and go face for 5. That is what happens. Now I could have just gone Wandering Bard Elta. However, I didn't want to do that because if I remember correctly, I don't think Elta does not get full stats on Evo, so because I know that his Beast Claw Aria is popping this turn, I want to put as much pressure on the field as possible, and even if I use the BKB now, that's fine, arguably, just because he has to have removal spell for the he has to have removal spell in order to put me into a bad spot. However, I have an explosion in my hand, so I can try to tread water a little bit and maybe hope to get to turn 7 so I can go and play the explosion, and then get to turn 10 so I can play Baja and then win. Additionally, I also have the 2 Axe Spiders in my hand, and the Axe Spiders are very, very good just because on a clean board they are 5/6s for free, and that's really nice. So I just go ahead and Evo. I Evo here because our roles have changed in this game. I'm no longer the defender. Right now, I'm the attacker. Because if I play passive, his aria value is just going to overwhelm me. So he does have so unfortunately he does have the full clear, and then has a second aria, and this is actually terrifying. To be honest, I'm not sure if playing the aria that turn was if playing the aria that turn was correct. Like, yes, I know that they do like want to get the amulet out as fast as possible. However, if I have something that can like beat over this, then you have to give me your last Evo, and I do have something that can beat over that. So I just go ahead and go Big Knuckle, and here I go ahead and pre-evolve it. The reason why I pre-evolve it is because right now he's shown me that he drafted a lot of amulets, and the good thing about him drafting a lot of amulets is that amulets aren't creatures immediately, so those are going to be tempo losses for him if he wants to play them, and so now he needs to have something that has 4 attack before Evo, so he can Evo into my Big Knuckle to clear it. We already know that one of the cards in his hand is a carrot, and for the most part, he's been playing pretty much like off curve the entirety of this game. So there's a very sorry, he's been playing off curve the last like 2 or 3 turns. So there's a very strong chance that he doesn't have a way to clear this. If he doesn't have a way to clear this, I'm gonna be really good. I'm gonna get rewarded for having used this Evo. Additionally, the other reason why I use the Evo is because this God Soul Wings is about to pop as well. So I want to force him to use both the God Soul Wings and the carrot in order to clear this BKB. However, he plays Tribunal, so again, like, my opponent is just a draft god, just like drafted all of these bombs and just going off. But that's fine, because I have a good deck too, and I can't be focused about just, you know, about just like, you know, crying about, okay, well, my opponent had a good draft, why, woe is me, and all that shit. No, there's no room for that when you're playing, just because, like, when you do all of that, like, you spend time that could have been used like planning ahead and trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I win in this spot, to just, you know, complain, and like the complaining isn't gonna help you win. The only thing it's gonna do is just gonna make you like extra salty, and that's not good, especially if you know that they want to be playing for a prolonged amount of time. Right now, I have to play for a prolonged amount of time, just because, like, I need to do this so I can get back to going to playing ladder. So here, I didn't actually Evo the Axe Spider, partially one because I'm trying to play around Hollow Dogma. Additionally, I want him to trade into this, and I want him to give me that last Evo. Additionally, I'm kind of hoping that he commits in a way that would like let me use the explosion this turn, or sorry, not this turn, but 2 turns from now. So that's basically my game plan here, to just try to put him in a position where he has to weaken his board to a point where the explosion will either be a full clear or a damn near full clear. So here, I go ahead and I go for the Uriel. Now the Uriel, alright, so I do have a Vampiric Fortress in my draft. I don't have any bats. I was forced to get this. I didn't have a choice. So here, I go ahead and I go ahead and I evolve the Wandering Bard Elta here. The reason why I evolve the Wandering Bard Elta is because I want to make the Elta just a tiny bit bigger. And also kind of diversify my threats, because like I don't want him to be able to just randomly like have like one answer and then just be able to trade in his bird into my thing. I mean, granted, he's still gonna be able to do that either way. However, Wandering Bard Elta is actually a really nice card, because like, it thrives in take 2 formats, just because your opponents aren't always going to be reading all of your cards, so sometimes they're going to be making misplays, and they're going to be giving your Elta value. So I go ahead and I make the evolve. I go ahead and trade into the carrot. I trade into the carrot because I need him to keep spending mana to play this carrot. If he can do that, like the carrot is low tempo, like, and I'm perfectly fine if he wants to replay the carrot. But here he makes a trade, and then he misplays. So he plays out the Bird Keeping Disciple. The Bird Keeping Disciple would have been very, very good for my opponent this turn. However, he doesn't do it. Or sorry, however, he doesn't get the amulet because of the Elta. The Elta stops fanfare effects, stops fanfare, stops necromancy, stops earthlight, stops enhance. So he doesn't get his free 2-1, which is nice for me, just because like even though it doesn't look like it, I'm under a lot of pressure just because he has a tribunal in play, and because he has this tribunal in play, I'm being forced to play in a way that I might not have wanted to play. However, thankfully, the hand that I have allows me to play around that. Well, allows me to play around that to an extent, provided that I can mind game my opponent into doing exactly what I want him to do. So here, he also plays his own Elta, and then he doesn't evolve. So he didn't trade, he didn't evolve. Alright, so I think part of why he did that was because like he felt like this was a strong enough board, just because like he knows I'm not going to want to play anything into this, and he has like enough damage to go for lethal. However, this is bad because, oh hey, look at that, if I have an explosion, which is a neutral and is a common and is therefore kind of popular in draft, then oh hey, I get a full clear. Oh hey, your tribunal only got to kill one thing. So I go ahead and trade, and then boom goes the dynamite. I go ahead and drop the explosion. I get the full clear. Additionally, thankfully, the tribunal pops and doesn't kill any of my guys. And this is nice because now this turn I can go for Olivia, and then suddenly I'm gonna be in a very, very good spot again. So there was also alright. So I go for the Olivia play this turn, which is nice. I go ahead and I do use the evolve. The reason why I use the evolve here is because this way the Olivia will be a 6/4, and he either has to have another scripture, which is unlikely, or he has to give me that last Diva finally. It's really important for me right now to get his last Evo, just because while yes, getting all of your opponent's Evos, especially when you yourself have an Olivia, is very, very nice. The other reason why it was important for me to do that is because I do not want him to ever be able to hard cast Aegis. If he can hard cast Aegis, I'm going to lose, just because like the only damage in this deck is from this Bahamut, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So if he ever finds an Aegis and hard casts it, I die. Sorry, if he ever finds an Aegis, hard casts it, and doesn't die from the crackback, then I'm gonna die, because I can't deal with that. So here he goes Acolyte's Light, and using the Acolyte's Light was very, very questionable for my opponent. He's just he's holding on to this Evo for dear life, and and to me, like that kind of felt like, okay, well, he probably drafted in Aegis, so I'm still trying to play around that as best as possible. However, now thankfully I get some Tove synergy, and I get to go Tove into Axe Spider, and then I get a full clear, and I get to have a 7/6. And again, there's a lot of pressure on him just because right now I have the biggest guy in play, and if he wants to have the biggest guy in play, he again has to give me that Evo. I do not know why he's holding on to his Evo. However, I do find out later why, but for now I was under the assumption that okay, he has Aegis, that's why he's holding on to his Evo. It turns out the reason why he was holding on to Evo is because he had Israfil, which actually would have, well, it wouldn't have really been like wouldn't have really been like that big of a blowout. But if I had like Evo'd into him, that would have hurt. So here he does show me his legendary, and again, because this is draft, I know that he most likely only has one. He at max has 4 legendaries total, and from the way he's been playing, he does not have a Bahamut. So I drop the Baha, drop it like it's hot, and then he concedes because she doesn't have an answer to that. So again, a huge part of this game really just came down to just me knowing exactly how I wanted to navigate around his tribunal turns, and also just my opponent just being really, really greedy with that last Evo, just never using it in the spots where we would have been able to use it, and then finally just at a Baha, he did not have a Baha. Yeah. Baja ruin and take two since Rise of Bahamut. But yeah. So again, like it was a pretty even draft. Like there wasn't any like one thing that I just kind of like put. It just kind of like, you know, made my draft like just like so much better than his. Like you could argue that was a Bahamut, but like he had so much early game control. Like he had double Aria, he had Tribunal, he had Bird Keeping Disciple. Like he even had Scripture, like as well as Kaiser. But it just didn't matter, just because, you know, he didn't play as well as he could and or should have, and I was able to recover it and take it back. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and leave a like if you did. If you didn't enjoy it, go ahead and tell me why you didn't enjoy it down in the comments below. Just because I'm always interested in feedback, and you know, I do try to go ahead and work on whatever I can work on. Sometimes I do know that sometimes I like talk too fast or something like that, just because sometimes I get kind of excited, and I do try to work on these things as you guys, you know, let me know and go ahead and tell me. So yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't, just because every subscriber does matter. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.